Hello, automotive business class. Welcome to our class for the next 16 weeks. We'll be doing assignments week by week, and I wanted to make sure I welcomed you on this first week and kind of give you some information as to what to expect for this course as we go through. Obviously, as a automotive student, you're working towards becoming an automotive technician. So if you kind of go, why in the world do I have to have business operations? And it's actually a really good question. Answer to that is we want you to understand how the automotive business works and have a really good understanding of what the service consultant does, which is the title of your textbook. If you didn't get your textbook, you're going to need it because each week I give you an assignment out of your textbook, and that is going to be tested basically with a homework assignment where you're going to have to fill out multiple choice questions along with filling a blank on Blackboard. So you definitely are going to need a textbook or be able to share a textbook with someone, but you'll certainly need one available so that you can get those questions correct. The quizzes that I'm going to give you from time to time, they're going to be built off of those homework assignments, and the tests that we give each, we have 4 tests. Each of those tests are going to be based off of the homework. So if you don't do the homework, you're not going to do very well on the quiz. If you don't do the quiz, you're not going to do very well on the test, which is a big percentage of your grade for this class. The other thing that's a big percentage of the grade for this class is going to be your reports. So you're going to have several reports as we go through, papers that you have to write, and one of them is on the lemon law, so the Maine state lemon law. Another one is on mechanics lien. So you're going to have to be able to explain to me, as if you were explaining to a customer, what those laws are, how they protect the consumer, how they protect businesses, and how to actually go about filling the paperwork out to start that process with the state. So that's 2 of the reports that you're going to do, and there's some various different ones as we go through. So yeah, it's that's a big percentage of it. So the tests, the reports, there's a big job shadow activity that I have you do right around week 8, week 9, where you're going to have to go out, make an appointment with a business, an automotive repair shop, and job shadow the service consultant. This is not job shadowing the technician, but it's job shadowing the service consultant. So that'll be 3 test grades associated with that activity. One is to develop a phone call or in-person visit where you establish your appointment time and the date, and you're going to make sure that you get that to me because I'm going to verify that. And that's going to be 1 test grade. So that's showing communication skills that you can actually go out and talk to a business and get what you need. The second part of that is going and interviewing the service consultant and observing them for typically about an hour. That's usually what it takes. Some people will take more time than that, but an hour to 2 hours is the absolute maximum. And you're going to answer questions that are again loaded onto that week 8, week 9 time frame. And once you do that, you're going to submit that, and we're going to do a discussion board to explain what you saw along with your fellow students. You're going to have to comment on some of their discussions. And then the third part is you are going to type up and submit a thank you letter so that I can take a peek at it, and then we're going to mail those off. So I'm going to have you mail those to the businesses, we're going to mail those out to the businesses. I want to make sure that the business gets a thank you for the time that they took to do that with you. So those are the 3 things that we're going to need to do for those 3 test grades. So you have 4 tests that you're going to take online. You have 3 test grades from that activity, that business job shadowing activity. The whole purpose, again, is to have you see how a repair order flows through an automotive shop, how the service consultant deals with customers, and you get an idea of that front line of the automotive repair facility. Because again, you are going to be in the back line of the service facility as an automotive technician. So we're trying to give you a good overview of how this service center works. All right, so off of that now, and we're going to take a peek at our Welcome Start Here bar, which you can see right here. The first thing that should pop up when you click on the automotive business course, and down here, really key piece here, you're probably going to want to write this down somewhere because if Blackboard ever crashes, you won't have access to it. I always think it's funny when we put something like this inside of a system. So here's a telephone number and here's the email address. If you ever have any trouble with Blackboard, taking a test, it closes down on you, Blackboard's not available, make sure that you call that phone number or email this email. I am not going to be able to help you much with a Blackboard issue. Basically, all that's going to happen is you're going to contact me, I'm going to contact them. So probably be faster for you, just go ahead and contact them via this email or this telephone number to see if you can get some assistance. All right, you're going to notice that my face disappears as I scroll down the page here. This is my email address, and that's going to be the best way to get a hold of me for this semester. Send me an email on any kind of questions you might have. You don't understand an assignment, you can't figure out where something is. This is our first semester running this online. Shouldn't be a problem, but if there is any kind of questions, any kind of concerns, any kind of confusion, email me and I'll get back to you within typically 24 hours. Weekends, sometimes it may be a little bit longer than that, but usually I'm checking my email every 24 hours. So again, if it's a weekend, give me a little bit more time. That may take a little bit more than 24 hours. This is the textbook that you're going to be using for the semester. Here's our link for the syllabus. Here's our link for the department policy. This gives you the rules of working in our automotive shop at SMCC. And then here I've posted our required tools list for automotive, just to give you an idea of what you're going to be expected to buy in your second semester. First semester, you don't have to buy any tools at all, and we want to make sure that it's pretty cheap for you guys to get involved with the automotive course, not have to have a whole lot of investment to start. So, but with that, I would caution you not to wait till the last minute. I have students that wait until the second semester, and then they're spending, $1,500, $2,500, $3,500, depending on who the tool supplier is, to buy the tools that are required to be in the course. So highly encourage you guys to start collecting tools early on, asking for them for presents, Christmas, birthdays, etc. Especially if this is what you want to do for a living. You're going to need to purchase tools. We'll talk a little bit more in week 2 about tool programs that are available to you as a student to get discounted tools. And if you're in Ruth Morrison's 101, 102 class, she will be having a tool day for you to get exposed to that as well. So I'll mention it a little bit in my week 2 video, but for right now, this is kind of where you go to find the list of required tools, along with how you purchase your uniform, which will be required in the second semester as well. Online tutoring, if you need any kind of tutoring help whatsoever, because we are going to be writing some things. If you're not real strong on writing skills, you may want to check with the online tutoring here to get some assistance, especially with resumes, cover letters, thank you letters, which will be part of what we do for this course, is building a set of job-seeking documents, which will be used when you go out for your internship, which is a required part of the course. So here we have free software. If you have any issues whatsoever, if you don't have Microsoft Office or something along those lines where you need some free software, we have it loaded right here in this tab. These are the technical requirements for Blackboard. What I'd like to tell you is use Firefox. That's the best, most stable platform for Blackboard. If you're using Chrome or one of those, you may sometimes have little weird issues with Blackboard, so I highly recommend using Firefox. It's again what Blackboard recommends. It should be compatible with everything, and it is mobile compatible, so you can use it with your phones, but you may find some little glitchy things here and there, depending on what browser you use. Again, here's our helpline. Make sure that you use it. So what I'm going to do now is, you'll see me disappear again. We're going to click on week 1 and roll through what is due in week 1. So I'm going to click here on course content, and in the course content button, we're going to see everything that's available for you for that first week. Now, it's taking a little bit of time. Sorry about that. While we're waiting, I'll just point out here, there is a course email button. The course email button will allow you to email your classmates or myself. If you have any questions whatsoever, click on that course email, and that will allow you to bring that up. All right, finally got this open. So here's our course content. It's laid out kind of like a book. This first section here says, let's support each other. This is a student lounge. If you have any kind of questions at all, since this is a fully online class, we would like to have a place for you guys to gather and kind of talk to each other if you need it. And that's where this is. So ask questions. Key thing here is make sure that you're using being a professional. Let's not make this like a forum like you guys read sometimes, like the 4-wheel drive forum or something where people are insulting each other. That's not what we want. Use proper etiquette, and you guys know how to do that. So it won't be tolerated if you're rude. Be nice in this. If you have questions for me, use the course email. Don't post it here. This is for you as students, not for me, the instructor. So if you have course questions, ask me directly by email. All right, here's week 1. I'm going to pop this up. And again, moving a little slow. There we go. Week 1. So, tasks for the week. You're going to review your course syllabus. And you want to do that by clicking in the Welcome Start Here folder and take the syllabus / department policy quiz. So that'll be covering both of those documents. Then I would like you to complete the student orientation to Blackboard. That's going to be a separate link. So if you scroll up and you click on your course button, you will have a link that says Blackboard orientation. Do not do the library orientation for this. That is not the same thing. It's the Blackboard orientation. Once you're done with that, you have to take several module quizzes. Once you get hundreds on each of those, it'll allow you to unlock the certificate test. And that certificate test then will allow you to get that certificate, take a screenshot of it, save it as a PDF, however you want to do it, and then you're going to submit it via the tab down here that says Blackboard orientation right here. So you're going to click on that and submit it. And you'll know how to do that because you've looked at the orientation. Also want you to do the introduce yourself discussion board. Each week we'll have a discussion board where you're going to discuss some pieces of the class, what we're learning each week. This particular one is going to be an introduce yourself. So I do want you to introduce yourself. I want you to talk to at least two of your fellow classmates, respond to 2 of their posts, create a little discussion. If you don't respond to anyone, obviously that's going to affect your grade, and there's going to be a rubric attached to these to kind of show you how we determine what grade we're going to give you for those discussion boards. The 4th task again is download any needed software that you have. So week 1, you can see here a picture of the customer and the service consultant. And again, we kind of have a description of what it is we're trying to do along with the objectives for the week. So that takes care of that. I think that that should clear up any kind of confusion if there is any at all. If there's any questions whatsoever, do not hesitate to ask me via email, and I'll be sure to help you out. And who knows, maybe I'll do another video to send to you if there's a lot of confusion between the whole class. Otherwise, I'll respond back to you individually via email. All right, well, have a great week. I hope everything goes well. I hope you learned some things out of this course, and I'll be meeting with you like this each week. Take care.